How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Mamiya. I apologize for missing last week. Just got really sick. But I gotta be honest, I'm not looking forward to this. Kato's, he's always been weird. It's got really, really weird. Dark and just, ugh. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to putting this one behind us. I'm hoping today we'll be able to wrap up his story, but I also am not too sure what to expect with that because we haven't really seen much progress, so I just don't know what to... I don't know, man. It's just weird. Do you guys agree with me? This one's the weirdest one. Like, all of the others, like, they made a lot of sense. This one's really doesn't. It's just... Ugh, this gives me the heebie-jeebies. Anyway, I don't know if there's really anything else I can say to that other than like how he's become so controlling and oppressive, and it's like so like emotional manipulation stuff. This is, I don't know. I don't know why it bothers me so badly. It just does. Like, I know it's not unusual for it to bother me, but like compared to the other stuff, like the physical abuse, disgusting. Like the psychological like disassociation Minato had, even the whole doom and gloom of gosh darn it, what's his name? I don't know. All the other guys. It was rough, but I got it. You know, it made sense. There's nothing I could even relate to with a lot of them. I can't relate to this one at all. So, anyway, let's just press onward and see if we can find some kind of ending to this that's somewhat happy, healthy in any shape. I don't even know. So let's just jump in and see what happens next. My shoes, which weren't quite made for winter, squeaked audibly every time I stepped in the white snow. Wow, look, everything's so white. There's so much snow. Whoa! Are you okay? I lost my balance, but so Kato grabbed my hand just in time to prevent me from falling over. Oh, thanks. It's okay. Just watch your step next time. I pursed my lips when I realized that pretty much no one would suspect me to be the older one here. In all the other possibilities I speculated, Suou's had always seemed like a child. But now that I'd gotten to know him a bit more directly, he actually gave me an impression of a fairly dependable individual. At first, we merely enjoyed the winter wonderland, but then he suddenly scooped up some snow from under his feet. Could I take this back home? I don't know. Probably melt by tomorrow. I guess you're right. It's become all watery when I touched it. He showed his wet, pinkish hand and gave me a mischievous smile, making me grin as well. Aw, man. Snow just disappears, huh? You can't keep it around forever. Yet it's still so pretty, fluffy, and exciting. Those words felt like an expression of his inner world. He wanted to forever cherish things that glistened like snow. He wanted for the extraordinary to last forever, and yearned for what lay beyond it. It's kind of ironic, though, if you think about it, because the extraordinary, what makes the extraordinary extraordinary, really, is how it's like lightning in a clear day, or like a sunset that just you catch at the perfect time. What makes it extraordinary is the fact that it's something rare, precious, and unusual. Yet Suou wants it to always be like that. He wants to take these things that he deems are precious and make them permanent. But then that becomes mundane, right? I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff that we take for granted, like having trains and having medicine and clothes to wear and schools to go to, for the majority of human history, those things would all be incredible. Like, people would be blown away if like someone from 1,000 years ago could look and see what our lives are like today. It'd all be like we lived in a world of miracles, you know? Yet it's normal and mundane for us, because we're just used to it. Suou can never be happy. Even if he got everything he wished for, it would just burn and fizzle out, and soon he'd find himself right back where he started. It's weird. It's really, really, really weird, because on the surface, he seems like somebody who lives in the moment and enjoys the little things, but it's such a backwards expression of it, you know? Suou Kato. It's so cold. I'm sorry for blurting out something that's silly. I know it's impossible. The snow continued to fall. The extraordinary continued to paint the city of Tokyo in its hue. To him, it was both a joyous blessing and a vile curse. Natsume? What's wrong? Are you cold? Should we go back? No, that's not it. The tall boy looked straight at me, waiting for my response. He didn't have to, though. He didn't have to wait. He could just abandon me. I wanted him to keep on running freely to his heart's content. Let's go, Natsume. Yes? Take my hand. What? Oh, but take those gloves off first. After waiting for me to take the gloves off, he extended his hands to me. I want us to hold hands. Huh? Come on, just do it. Like this? Yeah. I grabbed his extended hands. They were cold and even a little wet. It sent a brief chill through me. I guess they're pretty cold, huh? Sorry about that. Your hands are so large. I get that a lot. The snow continued to pile up, almost like it was trying to bury us alive. Huh. I somehow felt like I had to do this to you. I mean, you looked like an abandoned puppy just now. What? I couldn't just leave you be. Come on, if there's anything resembling a dog here to you. That's right, a dog. You're like a puppy. Urgh. Pouting, I briefly averted my gaze. I was too embarrassed to look him in the eye. It wasn't just because he compared me to a puppy. His eyes were brimming with loving compassion, and I felt like he'd seen right through me. I was now convinced beyond any shadow of a doubt that Suou Kato meant a lot to me. I felt as though I'd met him a long, long time ago. I had absolutely no idea why I felt like that, though. Hey, let's take some snow back home. But that's impossible. It'll work out. I'll think of something. I don't want to see you give up. There's no need to force yourself to understand something or make compromises. You don't have to become an adult. Someone with your pure heart and sense of righteousness has no need to grow up. It felt as though time itself had come to a halt, and its sheet of snowflakes protected us like its starry sky. I just don't know what it means to become an adult. Adults are gray, boring, locked between towering walls of concrete, and that makes them wither and lose all playfulness they might have had. I mean, I've never become an adult before. I feel like doing so would mean I'd stop being myself, and that scares me. It's really kind of sad too, because I feel like I became myself as I became an adult. Like, I was such a self-denier growing up. I was one to push aside my own thoughts and desires, thinking them silly or pointless or, like meaningless. But then as I grew up and asserted myself and recognized what it meant to have a true friends, like the fact that true friends are friends that are with you and stand by you, that are supportive of you and like accept you for who you are. And I started to accept myself for who I was, and I started to do things because I wanted to. This channel being the prime example of me taking something I just wanted to do because I wanted to do it and doing it. And it's become something I'm very proud of. So it's interesting that Suou fears this. It's okay. You can stay the way you are. Even as you grow older, never be afraid of liking what you like, no matter what anyone tells you. Hold your head high, be proud to say that you like the things you do. I feel like that would help me as well. Really? Yeah. Your very existence can be shining light to others. That's how I feel, anyway. Thank you, Natsume. Your words make me really happy. The snow gently reflected in the light of the moon. It was late at night, but the surroundings were well lit. And with that light, Suou Kato made a smile so dazzling it nearly brought me to tears. We went on to search for the vending machine. We bought the cheapest bottle of water available and promptly downed its contents. We then dried the empty bottle by blowing inside it and filled it up with snow. We exchanged many a laughter over how difficult it was to get all that snow in, but when we finally finished, Suou Kato held the bottle like it was a valuable piece of treasure. He seemed extremely pleased with the results. We both knew the snow inside would turn to water in the morning, but neither of us said it out loud. Did it not have a freezer? Holy crap, were we already at the end? We never had like a Mamiya encounter, did we? Aw, man, I didn't realize I was going to be so close to the ending. Tokyo, during the year in which the world was prophesied to end. The fourth Friday, the final month of the year. While Natsume's memorial mass over, all participants went to visit his grave. Outside the church, Suou Kato flashed a broad smile befitting his towering frame. Hello, Natsumi. Hello, Suou Kato. The day finally came, huh? Yeah. The month passed by in no time. So many things happened, and it was all so fun. I'm glad I was able to reminisce about Natsumi so much. An experience like this doesn't come often. It'd be great if all the fun memories we'd made could reach him, too. Yeah. His smile washed even my tension away for a while. But perhaps that was his intention from the start. In which case, he really was something special. I really don't like this ending. Like, it feels like we didn't actually resolve anything. So, we just told him he could be a kid? And it's all just hunky-dory, all gonna be fine now? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Let's go visit Natsume's grave. Okay. The public cemetery was an open area some distance away from the church. Various graves were lined up in a clouded area sprinkled in green. We stopped in front of one. It was just like all the others, lacking any distinguishing features. And it belonged to Natsume Sorichiro. In other words, me. A strong gust of wind blew past us. Even so, Suou Kato remained firm and resolute, and his eyes settled on Natsume's grave. The thing he chose to give him was... Wait, that's... Yeah, it's the bottle of snow we took home yesterday. Though it's gonna be water by tomorrow. I see. I actually thought of giving him snow from the day you told us about his idea a month ago. You did? Why? My question made him put on a faint smile. I once made a snowman with him. It happened so long ago he might have forgotten it. But I know that his grave will be covered in snow next year too. He can never leave the casket to witness the first snow ever again, though. And it makes me sad to think that he can't touch something that's so close to him. So I wanted him to greet winter while seeing the snow I gave him. He could touch some of it, treasure the rest. Suou Kato looked at the distance. There was nothing reflected in his eyes, not me, not the scenery around us. All he saw was that warm memory he shared with Natsume on a cold winter day. I know the snow will eventually turn to water, but still. It's okay. I'm sure Natsume will understand. Will he? Yeah, he'll remember the snowy day too, I'm sure of it. I hope he does. The dance we mimicked by watching TV, the old maid-like card game we played, the children's songs we often sang. Suou Kato brought up countless memories during our meetings, yet none of them were objects. The fact that he chose something like snow, which would inevitably turn to transparent water, finally made me understand what he really treasured. I'm sure Natsume will be glad. We offered a brief prayer to Natsume's grave before walking away with a smile. Still, it's kind of sad that we'll stop meeting up like this. Oh, don't worry. There's still next week, so let's have some more fun. I guess you're right. Boy, I'm relieved I'm so relieved I'm feeling hungry all of a sudden. Why don't we go grab something to eat, then? Good idea. What do you want to have in mind? Well... Oh, sorry. Mind if I go to the bathroom for a bit? Sure, I'll be waiting for you right here. Thanks. That was just an excuse. Feeling emotional, I turned back to the church to burn it into my eyes one last time. I guess that's it for my extended mass, as well as our final months together. So many things happened. And it all began right here, at my funeral. As I gently placed my hand on the door of the church, a strange feeling of discomfort made my heart race. Here he is. The extended mass was supposed to be over. It was our last Friday. Yet there was a faint discrepancy tugging at the back of my mind. Wait, what did he just say a few moments ago? There's still next week? Next week? What did he mean? The month only had 4 Fridays. There was no next week? Then why? Well, the world isn't coming to an end, Natsume, or what? I suddenly became certain of something. I didn't intend to, but I did. I was the truth behind my peculiar feeling of discomfort. Oh. I saw a glimpse of something I shouldn't have. The story isn't ending. The credits aren't rolling. Before I'd reached the final page and finished reading, there was still one thing left to do. And that was... I have to end my consciousness in this world. The memory of reaching this what-if outcome probably wouldn't even be a footnote. Everything here would be forgotten. I didn't know what would happen to all the me who never reached this conclusion. I wish I could have started things over from before I interfered, but that I wouldn't make the same mistakes, well, I should stop dreaming. It's okay. I believe in myself. Well then, good night, Suou Kato. The story has no ending. Not ending. Keo Suou side. Weird. That was so different. Like, is that just like different in general, or is that because this is the last one I did? I don't know. It did feel like a not ending. Alright. Well, that's all 4. Now, see what we can do. Because I don't know what happens. Do I hit restart again, or do I hit continue? Let's see. If I continue, it just brings up a loading scene. So, we must have to restart one last time. He did mention something, though. I mentioned something at the beginning before he interfered. Does that mean I have to start at the fall down again, or the downfall? I don't know. There's still a lot more to get to. Alright, I might take a little bit of experimenting, so we might have to cut away for a bit because I'm trying to see what's gonna happen here. Alright, so I went through, I didn't do the from the very beginning, but I clicked this one and now we have a new option. And it's doing nothing. So we've gone down all the paths, so now we're starting the final arc. I have no idea what this is going to be. We're only just going to be able to start it, I'm guessing. But let's see what happens, because I'm guessing we might try and go back to the beginning. If he says the beginning, I wonder if he means the hints we've had, which is the other group of people that are somehow tied to the Mamiya thing. Maybe that's what we have to go back to. Apparently there is no one there. Alright. I guess we'll go back to the upper layer. The moment I thought that and let out a sigh. You really gotta stop playing around, Natsume. The entity that appeared at the edge of my vision racked my entire body with chills. Mamiya, what are you doing here? Why, indeed. Whatever the case, you appeared too late. I found the what-if scenarios where I did save them. I'm not scared of you. What's so funny? Nothing. I merely found it amusing that you're still saying things like that. I have a perfect word to describe someone like you. He brought his face close and stuck out his tongue. Dullard. I instinctively pushed him away and put some distance between us. What? Who are you calling a dullard? Well, who else here, dear spectator? You little... No, wait. I couldn't allow him to be in control here. His aim was precisely to disturb me. I'd only be playing into his hands by succumbing to anger. I had to observe this Mamiya for a while longer. The child with the rabbit mask, the conductor in the gas mask, the girl in the nurse's outfit, and the invisible person. This human form was unlike anything I'd seen in their stories. If the nigh supernatural Mamiya and the Mamiya that the people from the pink house knew were different entities... Are you the Mamiya that the people from the pink house refer to? Give me your name. If you have a name like Natsumi Surichiro, then go ahead and say it. You're not Natsumi Surichiro anymore, are you? But if you're that desperate for a name, I guess Mamiya Yumihisha should do. Mamiya Yumihisha. Call me whatever you want. You're nameless, spectator. I'm Natsumi. I'm not nameless. Natsumi's my name. Whoa, you're actually still calling yourself that? Did all the interfering give you some kind of weird confidence in that? In that case, I'm Mamiya. If you insist on being Natsumi, then call me Mamiya. So, what changed after all your meetings with those four? Was there any point to what you did? No, it was all worthless. A complete waste of effort. You're biting your tongue for nothing. Go on, then. Call me by my name. Mamiya! Good job. Gah! Dang it, can't believe it ended there. I wiped the blood pouring from my mouth and for the first time in ages filled my lungs with fresh air that tasted of books. Calm down. Breathe. Mamiya Yumihisha tried to flare me up, but I'd grown quite a bit. I had reached endings where Mamiya didn't destroy them, something I could only do by interfering. By experiencing that, I felt that something had changed. Albeit little by little, the story has been altered. By seeing a different ending, I expanded the amount of possible what-if scenarios. I can't let myself take his word seriously. It's all going to be good direction. I clenched my fist to get a feel for this reality. Also, my repeated spectating has given me some much-needed experience. Now I know how to do it properly. At first, I was merely watching things unfold without really knowing what was going on. But then I learned that I can easily find out what I want without even having to intervene. Back then, I used to absent-mindedly watch things play out before my eyes. However, I wasn't a guest, but a spectator. I have to focus on a single character. By doing that, I'm able to steer the story in that character's direction. I could surely use that on those people from the cafe whom I'd had yet to interfere with. With 4 characters, the content of the story became vague. However, if I wanted to do the equivalent of underlying the important bits, I have to focus on a single one of them. They can give me more information. This was a major step forward for me. The powers I'd gained as a spectator would all allow me to get closer to the truth. Alright, let's get to it. The important thing now was to choose who to focus on. Wait a minute. I just had a thought. Those 4. We know that Suou's, family friend was one of them, right? What if all 4 of them have a connection to each one of the main characters? So, what are some of the things we can guess? Ryo, in his story, with his little sister, his adorable little sister, has a mom who's very, abusive, right? What if that was the girl from the apartment? Interesting. And then we have the tall, doctor or vet guy who knew Suou, so that connection's obvious. Huh. And then we had the kind-hearted, youthful guy. What if he is involved with... Trying to think. What if he's involved with Morichika? What if he's one of the friends in the pachinko parlor? Wasn't there somebody there who was specifically, like, friendly with him? And then what if the kind of geeky guy, I could see him. What if he was the guy who wrote and sang the song with Minato? Because he said it was an older person who meant a lot to him. What if those are the connections there? That'd be interesting. I'd better make this decision quick. It wasn't optimal to change it later or let the information intersect. I had to think on this. The info I would gain would change a lot depending on who it was. The person I want to know the most is... Toma. Wait a minute, I might have heard that name before. Maybe Tomo is the one that sang the song with, what's his name? This is terrible. Who do I want to know more about? It's Toba or Miyagaki. He creeps me out. Samijima creeps me out. And Arisugawa is kind of just odd. I wonder if I get to know all of them eventually or not, but or this is like the choice I get to make. Toma Miyagaki. Miyagaki. Wait, who is the one that saw Mamiya as a girl? Was that Toma? I think I'm going to go with Miyagaki. I chose to observe Miyagaki. What kind of person was he exactly? With that question in mind, I allowed myself to sink deeper into the story. We're done, Mayuri. Great work today. Thanks. You really did great. Each angle's perfect. How do you catch on film something that doesn't exist? What? You mean like spirit photography? Come on, I can take shots of things like that. Even if I can't take shots of things like that. Even if I did, and I'd exercise at the development stage. That's not what You know what? Never mind. Well, our job is to capture the invisible charm of models like you and make it visible to everyone. In that sense, all that matters is practice. I see. That other girl sure is late, though. This is less than half an hour left until the next photo shoot. I wonder if that's going to be enough. Excuse me? Elena's no good. Huh? What do you mean she's no good? I've been unable to get in touch with her for a few days now. She used to sit and still make it on time for each shoot, but this time's different. Are you saying she's slacking off? No, there's always been rumors that she was into drugs, so she might have disappeared. Seriously? Does she have a hallucination and go off somewhere? A hallucination? Well, whatever. Who cares about some model that disappeared? I'm assuming you have a replacement ready, do you, right? Yes, she's free from the same agency, and... Miyagaki's mind had completely turned out the rest of their conversation. She was solely focused on the girl who had disappeared. Good, just like that. Great pose, Mayuri. It's hecka sexy. Say, cameraman. Oh, how pensive. What's it like to hallucinate? Well, I'm definitely hallucinating a bunch of little hearts illusions around you right now. Come on, be serious. Well, I mean, it's a clear sign of mental illness, isn't it? Seeing things that aren't there is bad news, to say the least. Turn around for me. But what if the hallucination can talk? And what if it's fun to be around? Let's get some wind. And hey, that's even worse. You gotta get checked into a mental facility at that point. Don't ever do drugs, Mayuri. Not even once. The idea that it makes you thinner is a lie. Relax, I'm not going to do any. I'm perfect the way I am. Wow, what a shot! I'm perfect. Yes, I know. Yes, I'm going to school. Work's also fine. Yes, it's okay. Don't worry, it's fine. Nothing's changed. No, I'm not being distant. Look, I know. Sorry. I'm really sorry. Yes, it's okay, really. Don't cry, Mom. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Miyagaki. How long have you been there? I just came in. Huh. Your parents aren't okay with this? Is there some kind of rule that I have to share every last detail of my personal life with you? I mean, I'd understand if it came from the other two, but you're as old as I am. We're both just kids. And what will even change if I tell you? See? Nothing. Fine. You made your point. I'm sorry. Talk to me if there's anything on your mind, though. I'd be happy to listen. Miyagaki turned around and went back to her room. Toba, meanwhile, took a deep breath and began reading a newspaper. Miyagaki Mayuri. I'd always thought she was pretty, but I didn't expect her to be an actual magazine model. Was she always so discontent, though? She looked way prettier with a smile on her face. It's kind of weird to say, though. I should watch her for a bit longer. Not creepy at all. I did pick this path, though. There was a grove nearby. Miyagaki stood before an odd-looking mound. It wasn't clear who'd made it. Even its purpose was shrouded in mystery. However, Miyagaki would come to look at it whenever something happened. To her, it was like visiting Mamiya's grave that someone else had erected. She didn't want to believe that he died, and yet she kept wondering if she'd been happier if he had. What are you doing out here, Miyagaki? Miyagaki. Not it's Miyagaki. Or Nigaki. Actually, that's probably what it is, right? Not Miyagaki. It's Miyagaki. That's probably what they're trying to convey. It's Samajiba. That's my name. Had you forgotten? Oh, why are you here? I merely saw you walk into the forest. Despite how it might seem, I do happen to be a bit of a meddler. While Nigaki was scared out of her wits, Hamajima remained as calm and still as the surface of the lake. What is this? I'm not sure. Just kind of here. I didn't make it, though. It's almost like... Like Mamiya's grave? That laugh of yours is giving me the creeps. I'm not particularly fond of graves myself. Huh? There's nothing buried here, is there? It's quite a meaningless thing, really. I'm unable to pray or shed tears like you do. That's not what I... Oh, I'm not making fun of you. If anything, what I feel is respect. You are able to do something I cannot. For the first time ever, she felt her fear of this man abate. You're right. There's nothing buried here. I mean, Mamiya is just missing. Right? Come on, Samijima. Say something. Yes, indeed. The two looked up at the pine grove. The sky beyond the greenery was unremarkably boring hue of gray. It's cold out here. Let's go back inside, Miyagaki. Okay. Deep down, they knew for certain that they would never meet Mamiya ever again. That the thought whirled within their hearts and melted into the ground, untouched by anyone. Alright, I think we're going to stop here for today. We've got a good taste of what we're going to be going into. I've jumped into the next part. I don't want to get too deep into this before we and for us to move on. So it's just a good place, I think, for us to stop. Interesting. So I wonder if we're going to see each of the 4 paths and then maybe have a concluding path, or what. We'll have to see. But I'm interested to see how it's all going to play out. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Especially thank you guys for like taking the time to watch this series. My Friday series never perform as well, but that's because they're not as well known. These are games that are going to be much like looked up or anything. So the fact that you're here trying it out with me is really, really important to me. So thank you so much. And remember, this is one of the many works that's been provided by Fruitbat Factory, a fantastic company that makes fun games and also helps translate and redistribute games from Japan. So big shout out to them. I actually got something rather special from them, and I'm going to be showing that off in the next patron cast, which is going to be the public December one, which is absolutely running late, but there's something I'm holding out for. It took a little longer for me to get something that I want to showcase in the patron cast, so I've been purposely delaying it, even though it's definitely like the start of the next year. But I think it's an important thing to be holding off. And while I do that, I'm also going to showcase something that they sent me for Christmas. So thank you, Fruitbat Factory, for your support and for giving me this game and the wonderful other things that you've done to support the channel. Thank you to my patrons who are directly supporting us. Like, it's helping make the channel grow and make it better. They also were the ones that picked this game, and I always got to say thank you. You guys have good taste, so thank you for your help with that. And I look forward to being able to hear your thoughts on the patron cast from here on out. Thank you guys for everything you've done. It's been a kind of a crazy year for me. It's been really ups and downs. And now we're starting into the new 2022. I'm kind of hoping that we can see some really interesting things happen with the channel. It's my pleasure to be able to bring you content of any kind, and hopefully the increase of content and the more diverse content that we're going through, or maybe we're not always just visual novels, but mostly focus on like good story developed games, long form games, interesting ones where we can just talk about really interesting topics. I hope you've been enjoying that. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have any questions or comments about that in general, or anything you want to share about this Mamiya section, which is just interesting. I don't think Suou's ending was very good, honestly. I'm not even sure it was complete for some reason. So I definitely want to talk about that at the wrap party in great detail, but I'd love to know your thoughts about his story. I apologize. I'm sorry about that, but I'll have to hear all that next time. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next video, watching me up. See me next. I'll see you there.